Well, good day, viewers. Today we have a 2008 Dodge Ram 2500 HD. It's here for a number of problems. Brake warning light is on. ABS light is on. Speedo doesn't work. Check engine light is on. I'm going to start it up in a second here. I noticed the fuel gauge is showing empty as well. He didn't mention that. But he also mentioned that a specific fuse is blowing under the hood. He didn't know which one. I've worked on this before, so we're going to scan it and see what codes it's generating and check that fuse. So here's the previous history on it. It had a failed line pressure sensor and fuse 30 was blown. It had a lost communication with powertrain control module, front control module. So I've got the scanner hooked up to it now. Let's see what codes it's generated. I checked one of the fuses, it was good. I haven't checked the other one. Blade fitted systems. And let's do a code scan and see if it even communicates with the ABS module. Lost communication with the ABS. Battery temperature, oil pressure too low, vehicle speed sensor performance, fuel level. So that's why the fuel gauge is reading empty. Lost communication with ABS. Lost communication with SDARS. Lost communication with overhead electronic module. Lighting circuits. Oh my goodness, lost communication with anti-lock brake module. Radio, tire pressure sensor. So I didn't see the ABS module get scanned here. Okay, let's go right to the list here. So a lot of computers are reporting lost communication with the ABS module. And the ABS module is responsible for the vehicle speed signal. Let's see if we've got communication with ABS. No communication. Alright, so I'm going to check that fuse. So here's a look in the fuse panel, and this particular fuse is blown. Now according to that, that's fuse 30. And over here, fuse 30 says spare. Fuse 20, this 25 amp fuse down here is for the ABS, and it's good. But I'm going to pull that fuse out and replace it and see what happens. So as I'm plugging in that fuse, it's welding in there. It blew instantly. So I'm not sure what that fuse feeds. I'm going to have a look at the diagram. So here we are in the information system. Fuse 30 and the power distribution goes to 8W13-9. So let's look at this diagram. Load this up. Fuse 30. It's only powered up with the key. Oh, that feeds a whole bunch of stuff. Feeds the anti-lock brake module. Final drive control module, if it has electronic shift transfer case. Trailer towing damping. So this ESP 5.7 power wagon. Okay, so it doesn't have that. 6.7 accept shift on the fly, shift on the fly. Feeds the anti-lock brake control module by the looks of it, which would make sense if that fuse is blown. Well, I'm gonna look around. So here's another look at that diagram from a different information source, this time Identifix. Fuse 30 feeds this circuit, so it is except a 5.7 power wagon, so it is a 6.7 with shift on the fly, and it feeds the anti-lock brake module. So we'll go to AW34-2, and that should show this circuit. I think I'm going to put a headlight in there. There it is there. And that's the ignition fuse feed to the anti-lock brake module. There's no connections in between, which is interesting. So I'm going to put a headlight in place of that fuse to show me that there's a short in the circuit. So in place of the fuse, I put two spade terminals and I connected to a headlight. Turn the key on. Of course, the headlight is on bright because it's dropping the current, dropping the voltage through it. And we're going to move some harnesses around here. Now the ABS module lives underneath this mess back here. Oh my God, has this thing got a snowplow attachment on the front? What the hell is all this crap in here? It has that aftermarket lift pump, which is making noise underneath the vehicle. That's probably it. But here's the ABS module down here. There's a rag stuffed in here. Just needs a fire starter maybe. So there's the wiring harness. Nice thing about the headlight is it's visual. If I move the wiring harness and I eliminate the short, in theory the headlight will go out, or flicker, or blink, or something. I'm going to try and flip this tip-em up. So I got the tip-em flipped open and wiggling the harnesses down here, wiggling the harnesses back here, and nothing's making this light blink. So I'm going to disconnect this ABS module because it doesn't show any connections in between the tip-em and here other than the ones on the base of this module. Now let's disconnect the ABS module. So there's the ABS module disconnected. Connections look clean, but the headlight is still on bright, indicating the short's still present. Now my feeling is that this harness goes from here beside the battery, but it must go somewhere else. I'm going to check to see if there's any other diagrams. One of the problems with these diagrams is it makes reference to options that the vehicle could be built with, such as ESP. So I'm using a VIN decoder website, Comp9. It's a subscription service, pay monthly, and I've searched this VIN and it shows what options the vehicle is equipped with. Most GM products, the RPO code list is in the glove box or in the trunk on a sedan or a car. But I want to know if it has ESP. So I'm looking at, and I wish they would alphabetize these, but they don't, unfortunately. So let's do Control F. ESP. So it's not in the list. Let's just make sure that's working. I'll just search for something I see here like FZM. FZM. That didn't work. FZM. Or 5ZM, not F. Jeez. Yeah, so the VIN, the Control F finding page. So it's not equipped with this ESP, but it does show a connector, that circuit F960 pink light green wire. And now that connector may exist on the vehicle. There's a splice 139. I think some of these power distribution diagrams are not clear. In other words, there could be other options that the vehicle might be equipped with. Fuse 30, splice 139, tow dampening relay, ABS module. That's it. Doesn't show any connections, so I can't divide and conquer. So let's go to the actual connector 3 pin 20, C3 pin 20 at the TIPM, and let's disable that wire. I'm getting sick of hearing that stupid aftermarket lift pump running. I do have a battery charger on it so the battery doesn't go flat. So connector 3 on this power distribution module, let's look at that, is the top one by the looks of it. Yeah, there's the feed stud, so that's the top one, connector 3. So there's a picture of connector 3, which is the top connector on the TIPM, fortunately. And it's pin 20, and it's a pink wire with a light green tracer. So let's have a look at it on the vehicle. So this is connector 3. It's a latched connector, so push the red lock this way, flip the release. Now pin 20, looking into the face of this connector, is on this bottom row, and it's the third one. So it's actually this wire right here. And you can see with this connector unplugged, the headlight is off. If I plug this connector back in, the headlight will come back on again. So I'm going to put power directly to that wire instead. Eliminate the stupid sound of this pump running. So I connected my headlight directly to battery power and went into that pin. And of course it's on now, and I don't have to have the key on now. So there's a short to ground on this pink light green wire somewhere. What harness does that run into? Runs into this main harness inside the fender here. I wonder where else that runs. According to the schematic, it goes directly to the ABS module, and I've got it unplugged. But the ABS wiring harness seems to go up over this way towards the right side of the vehicle, but then I can't really tell. Well, I'm going to start removing some components, maybe the inner fender skirt here. Wiggle this harness. At least now I don't have to have the key on and listen to that annoying pump running. So I decided to take a different approach. I cut the pink-green wire going into the ABS module, and I cut the wire here at the TIPM, reconnected it, put a fuse in it, turned the key on, as you can hear, with that lift pump running. And we've got no ABS light and no brake warning light on. So I'm going to scan it and see if we got communication with the ABS module now. Let's go into the diagnostic suite now. And into the ABS module. Yes, we have communication with it now. Low battery voltage stored. Clear the code. Yes. Look at data. Battery voltage is 13.5. Like I said, I have a battery charger on it. So with that ABS module offline, the speed signals from the front right, front left, and the rear wheel speed signals are conditioned, and any one of those is sent on to the ECM and the speedo to operate the speedo. So let's clear all codes read by code scan. I think I'm just going to run a new wire between the ABS module and the TIPM because this truck is a little long in the tooth. It's nice to find the actual compromised wire, but it doesn't show anything else on that circuit, so it's got to be compromised in the harness inside the wheel well. That would require taking the inner fender skirt out and I think we're just going to run a new wire. Cleared codes out of 11 controllers. So let's fix that up in a little more permanent manner. So we're going to do a network code scan again now that that controller is back online, and see what controllers we can talk to. Has a problem with the cooling fan, it's probably unplugged. Fuel level sensor is probably failed open. I'm sure he's aware of that, that's why the low fuel gauge is on. I believe it has an aftermarket radio. I'm going to have a look. Yeah, it has an aftermarket radio, so that explains why they lost communication with the radio. AC pressure sensor, probably AC doesn't work. Fog lights, fuel pump control circuit, it's modified. Lost communication with the radio. Tire pressure sensors. Where's the ABS? Okay, we're going to go for a road test now and make sure that everything appears to be working. No codes in the ABS module. So I ran a new wire between the ABS module and the TIPM. I figured that was more cost effective than trying to chase for this actual short, considering there's nothing else on that circuit apparently, and it just goes from the TIPM to the ABS module inside that inner fender skirt. It would be nice to actually see the actual root cause of the problem, but this will work for now, understanding that there could be other electrical problems in the future. This truck is getting a little long in the tooth, so we don't want to spend too much money on it. So having a look at this fan blade, it sees solid, so that it needs a new fan clutch. I would imagine it's unplugged, so you've got a piece of cardboard in here for a winter front. Well, as you can see, the Speedo is working. ABS and brake warning lights are off. It's interesting that it turns on the ABS light when the brake warning light when the ABS module is completely offline. Make it fail a safety check, but I think that's the least of this guy's concerns here. So that's it. We'll take it for a short little road test. Transmission seems to be shifting okay. It does have other issues, obviously, but that's it for now. Thanks for watching.